That is the defendant's home address. That again, that FBI as well as the Rangers ran that search warrant. We don't have that detail right now.
That's part of the ongoing investigation.
I know you've been in contact with the family. Is there anything that they want to say to the public tonight for people that were searched?
I have. I spent quite a bit of time with the family, and they want you to know that they appreciate that. The vast majority of the families from Oklahoma, and they appreciated the fact that we care so much. They're devastated. They're angry because of what happened. Precious child taken from their lives. So other than their appreciation, and they would like to know that the community we give them our conduct.
Wow, heartbreaking, right? Unreal. Well, God rest her little soul. FedEx driver. Now, here's the question. If he's done this once, how many times has this guy done this? You know, is he a serial killer and all along disguised as a FedEx driver? Heartbreaking. 6 miles away from her home. Well, we all knew there was no way she could cover that much ground on her own. You know, within 14 minutes of her missing, the police started looking for her and covered, I think they said within a 5-mile radius of her home, which was the right thing to do, because if she was by herself and wandered off like everyone was thinking, she wouldn't have been able to cover that much ground. She was tiny. So, yeah. Our next option was maybe someone did take her. But it is heartbreaking. You know, we got a problem in America. Let's go back and listen to the rest of this real quick. I am watching the WFFA News.
Want to make sure that we give them the privacy that they need. And I hope that everybody will respect that and give them a little bit of space, not only with the family from Oklahoma, but the family right here in Cottondale. Let's give them a little time. And we would ask, from my closing remarks, we would ask that we spend some time and pray for these folks, so that they might be relieved of some of the pain. It's going to be a difficult few days, some sleepless nights, and they need our support. We'll be able to get one soon, and I think we can probably get that through the Wise County Sheriff's Office. You know, it's one of the toughest investigations that I've been involved in, because it's a child. And anytime there's a child that dies, it just hits you in your heart. You compare that child to your own children when they were that age, and it just takes the wind out of your sails. But at the same time, it gives you purpose, because you want to make sure that you do the best you can so that you get the best resources together to do what has been done here.
Well, I agree with them on that. You know, it's heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking. Good morning, True Crime and Analysis. Heartbreaking, ain't it? Adorable little lady. You know, unreal. Well, we really got to step up our game. You know, that's why I say we need drones hovering all over the place just to keep an eye on things. But, what can you do? My condolences to her family, and keep an eye on things. Folks, you really should invest in a camera, even if it's a computer hook a camera up, put it on, run it through your wall, whatever, mount it on the side or whatever, just for security, just for stuff like this. Who would think a FedEx driver would pull up, drop a package off, and take your kid and leave? But the world is nuts. The little girl that was kidnapped from Texas, that just happened. And you know what? They found her. It's only been a couple days, a couple days if that. And they did find her, and they did it by tracking electronically the guy's route or whatever. Yeah, it's just horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Wow. Wow. But I do have to admit, they did act fast, and they did look within a 5-mile radius around the house. But anybody that knows anything about the size of a child, they don't cover that much ground that fast. So there was a good chance that they would have been able to find her if she was alive. But they're saying now that she died within an hour of the guy taking her. And here's the big thing now. Now you got to interrogate this guy. You got to go through his whole life, all of his routes. This might have been something this guy was doing for a long time. We got to see how many kids are missing down in Texas, in that area. How many times did this guy do this? That's the question. I don't live in Texas, so I don't know what the stats are on how many kids or women or whatever are missing in that area. But now you got to go through everything. The guy might have been a serial killer. Yeah, it is. It's horrible. It's horrible. The military, or excuse me, FedEx driver snatched a little girl up, but he still made all his deliveries. I don't know. I don't find that too funny about it. It's not funny about it at all. But what are we dealing with in America? Bunch of nut jobs. Oh boy. What do? I hate to be that sheriff's department. This is going to take a lot of man hours of tracking, unless the guy breaks, unless they interrogate him and he breaks. The only thing you could do is hook him up to a lie detector test and start asking how many times he's done this, and does he know some of these missing kids in that area? See if he lies or whatever. And, yeah, horrifying, right? But rest in peace, Athena. Adorable little lady. Well, we definitely got a problem in America. And you couldn't ask for a better police response. They did their job. They were there within 14 minutes of the phone call. A lot of people, of course, we all thought that it was possibly the family. They were looking at the family, the police, and everybody was thinking that. That's usually what they do is look at the family first. But, hey, we were wrong. Someone took her. And that makes sense because there's no way she could have covered that much ground within an hour, a 5-mile distance. So it kind of makes sense that someone picked her up and, kidnapped her. So you couldn't ask for better response with the police or the people that came out and helped look for her. The great response time and, at least they got the guy, right? And they can interrogate the guy and find out how many times he's done this, right? Well, what do you do? So I want to give a 2 thumbs up to the police department that did their job and did it fast. It just wasn't fast enough, and they didn't have all the info. And thank God they did find the guy. That's one less sicko off of the streets, right? Or just horrible. As a parent, a lot of sleepless nights worrying about where your kids are, or I don't know. It's just unreal. All the brainwashing and kidnapping and evil stuff in our country. We got a lot of work to do in our country. We got a lot of work to do in security. Do I think drones would work? Yes. Have them stationed in the neighborhood. One goes up and one comes down, recharges, goes back up. The other one comes down, recharges, and all they're going to be is surveillance drones for stuff like this: bank robberies, kidnappings, shootings. We'll be able to see what is actually going on and find the people that caused it. But I'm getting a lot of slack for wanting to do that. But they're, people are coming. It's our private. I'm like, hey, we're just trying to keep our women, children, brothers, uncles, our families, citizens safe from the madness that we have to live in. I mean, they don't want to fund it. They don't want to. It's too radical. It's just an observation drone. It just watches the neighborhood. If there is a murder, we might be able to get a chance to see who it was, what vehicle, what happened. But it ain't about saving lives, really. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I don't want to figure it out. Yes, true crime analysis. Evil is everywhere. You're right about that. She's right about that. Could we make it a lot safer? Yeah, sure we could. But that would take away money from the war machine and the politics and everything. Yeah, we can make it real safe. We can make it very extreme punishments for people that do stuff like this. To put the word out, you don't do stuff like that in our country. You don't kidnap our kids. You don't brainwash them. You don't. But They keep telling you're too radical. The world ain't ready for Johnny Kramer yet. Well, then the world will keep going the way it's going. Ain't nothing I can do about it unless you're going to get extreme, unless you're going to send a message out. We're not putting up with this. In our great country of the United States of America, right? Could it be done? Yes. Yes, it can be done. If we put a man on the moon, we can make observation drones that do nothing but observe. When the police department gets a call, that drone gets a call and it shows up by GPS right to where it's at, where the problem is, so we can watch everything. So we can see everybody that is involved. So we can see the devil and what he really does. It's too early in the morning for this. I woke up this morning, turned on the dang YouTube, and that was the first thing that popped up on my arrhythma, whatever it was, these crime cases. And little Athena was found. First off, I want to thank the Lord. All glory goes to God. I don't know how much that helps, but Lord, thanks for another day and forgive us for our sins. Although some of us really ain't in the business of sinning, but if we ask these other holy rollers, just breathing is a sin. Right? All right, folks, have a great day. I want to thank True Crime Analysis for stopping in. She's got a great channel. Folks, check out her channel. Great channel. Great lady. God bless. Keep an eye on your kids. Invest in security systems, a camera, even if it's not even a security system, and it's just a computer with a camera. You know, you can record the whole day. Come home, watch it. If nothing happens, erase it. And then when you go to bed, turn it back on so the camera's running. You know, while you're sleeping. It's either that or I'm going to put my minigun home defense system out on the market. And it's a minigun. It's just like a CRAM device, but it's for home defense. And it'll be ran by a camera, an infrared. Anything comes on the property, it's just liquefied by this minigun. I mean, do we want to go to extremes? I don't know. It's either that or we got to up our security and citizens, police in America. You know, I know they don't want to fund me for it, but some things you got to do by yourself, right? Now, you folks have a great day. Be safe. And yeah, I don't know who Johnny's military service is. They're all the same person. I think there's the government saying it's a stalker or some crazy radicalist. And of course, I'm like, well, we'll just deal with it. No, we can't. We can't deal with it that way. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I really don't know what to tell you, folks. If you're not going to take it seriously, and stalkers, madmen, crazy men, and women are nuts too. Even kids. What do we got in our country? We got kids killing people, or young 12-year-old kids. This is unreal. If there's a hell, we're on it. I can tell you that much. You folks have a great day. I do want to thank True Crime Analysis for stopping in. You know, I think I might make True Crime Analysis a mod here soon. I know people can't. I go live all the time, so people can't be here every 5 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? It's times like these that you message people to make sure, or you message if you're not with your kids, you message the mother, hey, are the kids okay? You know, to check on the kids or whatever, because I understand what these folks are going through. You can't be there all the time. And certain situations in America where the parents are separated and the father can't be there all the time, or the mother can't be there, or don't know, or they're halfway across the world. And it's just heartbreaking. I can see how people lose it and snap. You know, some of us, our kids are halfway across the world or country, and we're not there all the time. We don't know what they do. Either the mother's got custody or the father's got custody, and there's hatred between the parents, and they don't tell each other what's going on. And it's just horrible. It's just horrible. You know, it's just horrible. And this is why we got to revert to extreme techniques and punishment. You know, I don't know. But I do want to say good job to the Texas sheriffs out there and the police. 2 thumbs up. They responded fast, and they did look, but they just didn't look far enough out, because she was found 6 miles or 7 miles out of town or whatever. They covered 5 miles, and by right, they were right, because that little girl couldn't cover 5 miles in an hour. So they did their job, and they did it to the best to their abilities, and they caught the guy, and it was fast. So you can't ask for more than that. We're going to need cameras inside all the FedEx trucks. We're going to need GPS and everything on these trucks. Yeah, no, FedEx is, this ain't good for FedEx, right? They can't even get your package to you without being all broke up, crushed, or whatever. And it makes sense now if that's what's going on within our world. I mean, we're hoping that this is just a one-off incident. But now you got to backtrack this guy's whole life to make sure this idiot hasn't been doing it the whole time. Some crazy clown FedEx driver. I don't know. If I was the federal government or the police out in Texas, I would be going ahead and check and see how many kids were missing in that area. Good God. You folks have a great day. Thanks for True Crime Analysis for stopping in. You folks have a great day. Be safe. This is what drives Americans nuts, is the madness that we wake up to every day. Although we keep praying to the Lord to shelter America, it ain't happening. At least not right now. Maybe he's busy. The Lord is busy with a lot of things, but I don't know. You guys have a great morning, or try to. And don't let it get to you. Don't let it affect your whole life. It's horrible. I agree. It is horrible, but we can't let it consume our lives, or we'll be in the corner going drooling down our face, crazy or whatever. Don't let it consume you. It is horrible. It's heartbreaking, and there'll be time for mourning, but we got to keep going. We got a lot of work to do in America. We might need other countries to help us. We're going to need friends, families, foes, allies. It's not only here in America, it's all over the world. It could be the devil. Who knows? Have a good day, folks.